The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Tonight on DC News Now at 5, new details about that explosion in Gaithersburg at a condo. Plus, a special counsel has been announced to investigate documents found in Mar-a-Lago. We'll have those details. Also, stretching your dollars on holiday shopping. We'll have the best ways to save, but still be giving this season.
And wintry weather is taking hold of the DMV as we go into the weekend with much colder temperatures on the way for Saturday and Sunday. Just how cold are we going to get? We'll let you know in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Jamin. Thank you again so much for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Annalisa Gale, filling in for Mark Hall. Just moments ago, we learned about another dramatic turn in the Gaithersburg condo explosion. Police now saying that blast was caused by a condo owner, possibly, who died by suicide. His body was found among the rubble. Our team coverage starts with Montgomery County Bureau reporter Cheyenne Curran. Cheyenne, police say he left a note and they don't think he intended to harm anyone else. What else are they saying?
You're exactly right. So just a few moments ago, we found out the ID of that body that was discovered yesterday. Now, that's 36-year-old Juan Pablo Marshall Kizan. Now, police say that the medical examiner determined that he died by suicide. They say exactly it was smoke inhalation and burns. Now, he was the owner of Unit 826. We have repeatedly been telling you that there was this one unit that officials say that they were unable to account for, and we now know that that was the person who committed suicide in that unit. Now, family did not know that he actually lived here. Officials say that he actually purchased that unit back in August. And on Wednesday around 11:30 a.m., his mom actually reported that he was missing. And now this was completely unrelated to this explosion. And police also say that there was evidence to support that he did die by suicide. Take a listen to that.
We've spoken to several individuals who are close to Mr. Kizan, and we know for a fact that he made statements that were indicative of intentions of suicide.
Now, Chief Jones also said that they did search his other home in Durwood on Thursday, but he would not elaborate to exactly what was found. Now, Chief Jones says that there's no information as of now to support that he did intend to hurt others, but it's still a criminal investigation because there were 14 others injured. It is good news that those 10 that were transported to the hospital, they say that they all had been released from the hospital, but since it did hurt all of those people and it also had significant damage, as you can see behind me, it is still a criminal investigation. Now, officials also said that there was a suicide note, but we do not know exactly what that note entailed. As we learn information, as you can hear, this is really just a developing story. Yesterday, we found out about the body, and now we are learning that that body did commit suicide. We'll make sure that we keep you updated as we learn more. I'm live in Gaithersburg. I'm Cheyenne Curran for DC News Now.
All right, thanks, Cheyenne. And Dave LaValle is also on the scene tonight. Dave, you spoke with a condo owner affected by this blast as well as neighbors. What are they saying tonight?
Well, Annalisa, right now you have a fence around this section of the condominium complex. The only people allowed inside are emergency responders, and that's created a lot of uncertainty for the people who live inside this complex as they wonder, when are they going to be allowed to return home?
It is sad to see it in this shape.
Vinod Mishra surveys the damage from this week's explosion at the Potomac Oaks condominium complex. He owns a first-floor unit in the building, 2 buildings from where the blast happened. His thoughts also drift to the family that rents from him. They just moved in this month.
Tenants have not been able to get even any of their clothes or anything from here, so it's really a difficult situation. You know, somebody with 2 little kids, what do you do?
I did not expect the amount of devastation that I saw.
Karan Johnson lives near the complex and got his first look at the devastation Friday morning.
I expected maybe, see some fire, some damage, but I didn't expect to see like the whole entire building just decimated.
Johnson usually walks through the area, but did not Wednesday because of the weather. That's left Johnson a bit remorseful.
I feel bad because I think like, well, maybe if I was, maybe I could have helped someone because I would have been walking by at the time. You know, you just don't know.
Meanwhile, crews continue to remove the debris from the blast. Mishra's building still stands, but he wonders for how much longer.
That if it gets demolished, what happens to the tenants? What happens to us, like financially?
Mishra believes it could take at least a year to rebuild any of the demolished buildings. And again, there is no word when those who live inside the affected buildings will be allowed to go back inside to get any personal items. We're live in Gaithersburg. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
All right, Dave, thanks so much. Well, breaking now, a D.C. high school was on lockdown this afternoon after shots from two cars outside nearby. This unfolding near Chesapeake Street Northwest and Fort Drive. D.C. News Now's Marielle Carbone is at Jackson Reed High. Marielle, what can you tell us right now?
Well, I think the most important thing police want people to know is that there are no known victims right now. All the students were safe and there was no shooting inside the school. Those shots that were fired happened outside and not on school property. Now, officials tell us that around 2:45 there were calls for multiple shots fired outside the school, and that is when the school went into lockdown. Now, students have since been dismissed. Police do say that there is one suspect, the description right now, just an adult male, that was out here shooting those shots, and that person did get into a vehicle that had other people in it before driving away. We also have a suspect vehicle description, a black four-door sedan that does have Virginia tags on it. So we had a chance to talk to the commander out here of District 2. Take a listen to what he had to say about what happened out here today.
We quickly learned that there was at least one individual who was firing a gun. We don't really have a description on the individual at this time, but we had reports. What we want the community to be aware of is we had reports that this person that fired gunshots got into a vehicle occupied by multiple individuals.
And police say that there were multiple shell casings out here. They couldn't give us an exact number, but do say that it was a significant amount of casings found outside of the school here. And we did talk to a couple of students that actually said being inside with this lockdown that everything went smoothly, that they were alerted, that the school was communicating with them. So they did feel safe during all of this. Again, nobody hurt, and police are asking that if you do have any information about the suspect, about the vehicle, or anybody else that could have been involved in this, that you do contact them tonight. Reporting live in Northwest DC, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Yeah, no, I was stuck in the intersection for about a solid 45 minutes and trying to rock the car out. Luckily, the cops came and they gave me a push.
Well, happening now, upstate New York is being covered by relentless snow with poor road conditions. Many are getting stuck and even having to shovel their way out, causing problems for snow trucks trying to clear the way there. And here you can see that snow-covered street in Pennsylvania as well. Could there be snow in our forecast? I can't believe I'm asking this question. Meteorologist Damon Matson is joining us. I'm not excited about that much snow ever.
I hear you, Annalisa. I'm nerding out. I love this kind of stuff, but no, and thankfully for those in the DMV, we are not talking about snowfall like that for our region anytime soon. But hey, let's check this out. Again, this is just impressive stuff happening right now in parts of western and upstate New York. These lake effect snow bands have been consistently coming right off of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario all day long, hitting some of the same locations hour by hour with this very heavy snowfall, and it is piling up very rapidly. And there are some locations just outside of those heavy snow bands that aren't seeing any snow whatsoever. Now, these are radar estimates, but again, the radar has trouble picking up exactly just how much snow has come down. The ground truth results already put the total up toward 4 feet in a couple of spots just south of Buffalo and then surrounding areas. The radar estimate a little bit closer to that in the 30 to 40 inch range with these snowfall totals. And this has all mostly come down today. Again, just crazy stuff unfolding, and the snow is not stopping in parts of upstate New York. Now, taking a little bit of a closer look here across our area, there's been some precipitation out there. We have light rainfall across parts of Frederick and northern Montgomery County as the far eastern extent of all of this precipitation does clip by us here. And then across the mountains, we are watching as some bands of snowfall are starting to swing their way in. And one of these is a heavier band. A snow squall warning is in effect until 5:45 for northern parts of Garrett County along the I-68 corridor. That band is starting to move into the I-68 corridor, and what can happen is this snowfall will start to come down at a very fast rate in a short amount of time, reduce the visibility, and then turn the road conditions very slick. So please be cautious out there if you are traveling across western Maryland here this evening. The large majority of us, though, continue to see a partly cloudy sky as things get colder here tonight, and the temperatures will keep on dropping this weekend. Again, we'll have a look at those colder temperatures coming up here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Jamin. Well, right now, Attorney General Merrick Garland is announcing that a special counsel will investigate the classified documents found at former President Donald Trump's Florida home, along with the role Trump played in the January 6 riots. Garland appointed Attorney Jack Smith of Tennessee. Smith most recently had served on a team investigating international war crimes.
Throughout his career, Jack Smith has built a reputation as an impartial and determined prosecutor who leads teams with energy and focus to follow the facts wherever they lead.
Now, in an interview with Fox News, former President Trump called the special counsel investigations politically motivated and that he will not partake in it.